cerebellum is uh, attached to your brainstem by your peduncle. So this is your medulla, this is your pons up to here, and this is already your midbrain. You can see your cerebral aqueduct. Diba? The cerebral aqueduct and your cerebral peduncle. So your medulla is attached to the cerebellum via your alam mo, madaling matandaan eh. Tingnan mo, mababa siya, gitna siya, mataas siya. Inferior cerebellar peduncle. Okay? It's the same as your restiform body. Okay? Your pons is connected to the attached to the cerebellum, or the cerebellum is attached to your pons via your middle cerebellar peduncle. You can see here. It's the biggest actually. Kita mo. The middle cerebellar peduncle, or you also call it the brachium pontis. The brachium pontis will already tell you to which part of the brainstem the cerebellum is attached. And your midbrain is attached to the cerebellum by your superior cerebellar peduncle or your brachium conjunctivum. Hindi cerebral peduncle has cerebellar peduncle. Now, just to review you in your previous, for the practical. This is your pons with your basilar sulcus occupied by the basilar artery. You can see in both these specimens, you have a well-developed anterior median fissure. You have a well-developed pyramid. This bulging here is the pyramid. And then on each side, this is better seen in this specimen, you have a very big inferior olive. Yan. Yan. So in the practical, it's really very similar to your rubber model. Okay? So the inferior olive is the origin of what fiber in the cerebellum? Yung two afferent fibers, climbing or mossy. Alin ang galing sa olive? Okay? L, climbing, inferior olive. You know, in medicine, you must learn how to make ways by which you can remember. It's whether by acronyms or whatever will make you remember. Because there are so many things to memorize, really. Now, this is actually the inferior surface. The region where you have the brainstem is actually the inferior surface of the cerebellum, while this is your superior surface. Okay? Now, anatomically, there are three lobes of the cerebellum. The anterior lobe, the big posterior lobe, and your loculo-nodular lobe. Okay? Now, you will see the superior surface that took the anterior and the posterior lobe. Okay? So, the same here. Although a part of the anterior lobe is already removed, no? So, the primary fissure separates the smaller anterior lobe from the bigger posterior lobe. Now, since your posterior lobe is much bigger, there are two fissures which further divide it into smaller lobules. Your posterior superior fissure and your horizontal. And the lobule of the posterior lobe above the posterior superior fissure is also easy to remember because the posterior superior fissure, the lobe above it is posterior semilunar, and the lobe below it is superior semilunar lobule. Okay? Posterior superior semilunar, superior semilunar. Horizontal, alam mo na superior to, syempre, this is inferior semilunar lobule. Those are the parts of the posterior lobe that you see on the superior surface. Again, posterior semilunar, superior semilunar, inferior semilunar. Now, if we look at the inferior surface of the cerebellum, you can see your cerebellar tonsil. It's more well developed in this specimen. Yan, oh. You can see your cerebellar tonsil. Okay? Here it is this part. And you can see the proximity of the cerebellar tonsil to your brainstem. And as what Dr. Lumitao has told you, the lower part of the medulla occupies already the region of the foramen magnum, which is the space, and therefore when you have increased intracranial pressure, this can permeate into pinch against the vital centers in your medulla and cause respiratory arrest, cardiorespiratory arrest. So this is your cerebellar tonsil. Very important to remember clinically. Okay? Now, your remaining part of the cerebellum is your flocculonodular lobe, separated from the posterior lobe by the posterolateral tissue. Okay? So again, what are the anatomical parts of the cerebellum? This is your flocculonodular lobe, posterior lobe separated from each other by the posterolateral tissue, and the posterior lobe is separated from the anterior lobe by the primary tissue. Your posterior lobe is further divided into
Posterior semilunar, superior semilunar, inferior semilunar,
this is your
horizontal,
this is your
posterior superior.
Okay, good. Now, this is the part of the cerebellum known as the vermis, and if you have lesion of this area, you will have truncal ataxia. While this is your lateral cerebellar hemisphere, if you have lesion here, you will have limb ataxia. Ipsi or contralateral? Ipsi lateral because of the double crossing of the inherent fibers. Okay. Functionally, we will have three parts of the cerebellum. So anatomically, discuss natin na anterior, posterior, flocculonodular. Functionally, you have the vestibulocerebellum, the cerebrocerebellum, and the spinocerebellum. Okay? The vestibulocerebellum is concerned with what? Balance and equilibrium. Since it receives projection, its name will tell you where it comes from the vestibular nuclei. So for balance and equilibrium, so therefore if you have lesions of this, you will have nystagmus. Okay? Now, your cerebrocerebellum receives projections from the cerebral cortex. Good. Cerebral cortex, and therefore this is involved in motor planning. Okay? The spinocerebellum, sinabi ko na, galing ng spinal cord. And this is for motor execution and for maintaining for muscle tone. Okay? Now, your cerebrocerebellum sends projections to what deep cerebellar nucleus. So all of the output passes to the Purkinje cell. Okay? Now, from the Purkinje cell of the cerebrocerebellum, to what deep cerebellar nuclei will it go? Then they your inferior, your intermediate vermal or paravermal region will project to what deep cerebellar nuclei. Symbolic and lobos, which collectively will be known as your interposed nuclei, while the vermis will project to your fascia. So from the lateral, D, E, B, F. Baliktad, D, B, E, F, G. Sabihin Dr. Poblete. Teaching you already acronym, D, F, F. Okay, and the location will already tell you to what part projects to it. Then take lateral hemisphere. Intermediate part, interposed nuclei, intermediate vermal region or paravermal region, and of course midlines of the. Okay?